viewers, I'm your host Lipakshi Khurana with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. As the world moves supply chains out of China, India is presented with a window of opportunity to realize its long-cherished ambition to become the factory of the world. The country has a strong domestic market, skilled manpower and a thrust for technological upgradation. New Delhi recently hosted India Mobile Congress, Asia's biggest technological event, showcasing revolutionary innovations. A report.
India is fast emerging as a powerhouse of technological innovations, posing itself as a developer, manufacturer, and an exporter of key cutting-edge technologies. The country not only attracts foreign investors but provides immense opportunities to startups in sectors like telecommunications. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the 7th edition of the India Mobile Congress in New Delhi and called for India to become self-reliant in cybersecurity across hardware and software. He also highlighted India's tech achievements and aspirations, including the fast adoption of 5G in the country.
मुझे विश्वास है कब 6G में भारत दुनिया को लीड करेगा। साइबर सिक्योरिटी के लिए पूरी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वैल्यू चेन में आत्मनिर्भरता बहुत जरूरी है, चाहे हार्डवेयर हो, सॉफ्टवेयर हो या कनेक्टिविटी। जब हमारी वैल्यू चेन का सब कुछ हमारे नेशनल डोमेन में होगा तो हमें इसे सिक्योर रखने में भी आसानी होगी।
Information and Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that mobile phones worth over $10.8 billion were exported in 2022. He highlighted the significant reduction in the time required to obtain permissions for setting up mobile towers and the telecom industry's growth, particularly in the rollout of 5G, affordable data and telecom technology exports.
10 साल पहले टावर लगाने की परमिशन, टावर जरूरी होता है टेलीकॉम के लिए, टावर लगाने की परमिशन में करीब 230 दिन एवरेज लगते थे। आज मात्र 7 दिन लगते हैं और इसमें से भी करीब 85% परमिशंस इंस्टेंटेनियस हो जाते हैं। एंटर का बटन दबाओ।
The 3-day India Mobile Congress 2023 witnessed 1 lakh plus participants, more than 1,300 delegates, over 400 speakers, 225 plus exhibitors and 400 startups this year. In total, there was participations from 31 countries. The focus remained on a range of opportunities from 5G and 6G, generative artificial intelligence, semiconductors, cybersecurity, satellite communications, and digital inclusion, to name a few. Before 2014, India was a mobile phone importer. Now it has become an exporter. The country is the second biggest mobile manufacturer in the world, exporting 2 lakh crores worth of electronic goods. Many foreign players showcased their technological upgrade plans at the event. If Google will manufacture its Pixel devices in India, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 and the iPhone 15 are already being manufactured in India.
एप्पल से लेके डिक्सन, सैमसंग से लेके टाटास, हर कंपनी छोटी बड़ी स्टार्टअप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पे पूरी तरह जूझ गई है और इंडिया एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नेशन की तरह स्पेशली फॉर अ डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एक बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे एक वर्ल्ड लीडर साबित हो रहा है इस वक्त।
India's digital ecosystem stands on the brink of unprecedented growth in the coming years. With over 800 million broadband users, a number that is rapidly increasing by the day, the digital economy is being driven by the telecom sector. Today, India is actively engaging in the development of standards for future technologies in areas like 6G, guided by the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister.
According to Ernst & Young Global Limited, global corporations are leveraging Indian technology talent through their capability centers in India, which employ 5 million people. The country is well positioned to leverage this success and cater to more skill-intensive and increasingly digitized services.
Moving on, as Pakistan is heading towards the next general elections in late January next year, the political scene in the country is heating up. One former Prime Minister Imran Khan is facing trial on charges of leaking state secrets, while another former PM, Nawaz Sharif, just staged a triumph to return home after living in self-exile for 4 years. The political machinations at the elite level are out of step with public sentiment in Pakistan, as Imran Khan remains broadly popular and Nawaz Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz, is viewed as responsible for a devastating economic crisis gripping the country. A report.
A much-awaited welcome to Nawaz Sharif, the three-time Prime Minister of Pakistan, who recently landed in Islamabad after 4 years of self-imposed exile in London. Aiming to kickstart his party's campaign for next year's election, the 73-year-old veteran politician addressed thousands of supporters in his hometown of Lahore. He said he just wanted to serve his nation and see it prosper. Sharif had not set foot in Pakistan since leaving for London in 2019 to receive medical treatment while serving a 14-year prison sentence for corruption. Sharif is expected to unite his fractured party and to energize its base and to catapult the party back to power in the upcoming election.
ये बताएं कि कौन है जो हर चंद सालों बाद नवाज शरीफ को उसके प्यारों से, उसकी कौम से जुदा कर देता है? कौन है भाई? हम तो पाकिस्तान की तामीर करने वालों में हैं। हमने तो पाकिस्तान के लिए एटम बम बनाया अल्लाह के फजलो करम से। हमने एटमी ताकत से महरूम नहीं किया, हमने तो पाकिस्तान को एटमी ताकत बनाया अपने रब के फजलो करम से। और हमने लोड शेडिंग खत्म की, लोड शेडिंग शुरू नहीं की।
Experts believe that Nawaz Sharif is backed by the Pakistan Army and will act as a puppet Prime Minister.
Nawaz Sharif would not have come to Pakistan. He was absconding, he was staying in exile in London, and he was too scared of coming to Pakistan. After elections, if Nawaz Sharif contests election, there is a question mark whether he will contest or not, because still cases are going on him, corruption cases. So if he is allowed to contest, then and if he comes to power after contesting election, he will be another puppet Prime Minister in Pakistan, controlled by the ISI and the Pakistan Army, and the actual power will lie in the hands of the Pakistan Army and the ISI, and Nawaz Sharif will just be a tool.
As Nawaz Sharif has joined the political battle, another former Prime Minister, Imran Khan, is facing an avalanche of legal cases and is currently in jail. Imran Khan, who broadly remains popular among the masses, can't return to power because the current charges against him mean he has been disqualified from politics for 5 years until the next election. Despite facing severe crackdowns, Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf continues to flash its electoral power, winning several key by-elections in recent months. Khan still polls as the country's most popular politician. Experts believe that upcoming general elections in Pakistan will be attention-grabbing.
Condition of Pakistan is such that there is hunger, there is poverty, there is famine, people are begging in the streets for food, and on top of that there is sectarian violence, there is regional violence, and now this political head-on crisis. Imran Khan is very much there in jail, but Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Pakistan is a very popular political party in Pakistan, and Imran Khan enjoys a lot of popularity within the Pakistan masses, and especially the way he was dethroned and the way he was taken to jail. After that, his popularity has risen a lot. So what I understand is like there would be a head-on collusion. That head-on collusion will lead to a kind of a civil unrest, and that would create a lot of bloodbath in Pakistan.
It is predicted that Nawaz Sharif's party is backed by the Pakistan Army, which is historically known for manipulating the country's politics. In April last year, Imran Khan was removed from office following a parliamentary vote of no confidence, and he later survived an assassinated attempt. Khan blamed the then Army Chief General Qamar Bajwa for his removal. He again argued that the army was behind threats against his life and claimed that individual civilian and military leaders were behind ongoing plots against him. The Pakistan Army always decides the country's top post through manipulations and threats to politicians. Until 2013, Pakistan did not experience even one democratic transfer of power from one democratically elected government that had completed its tenure to another. All of its previous democratic transitions have been aborted by military coup.
Well, in an effort to combat religious extremism and terrorism, the Indo-Islamic Heritage Center recently hosted a roundtable conference in New Delhi. Distinguished scholars, politicians and experts from India and Bangladesh attended the two-day conference. The main goal was to discuss the urgent threats posed by terrorism and religious extremism in the South Asian region. We have a detailed report.
The post-9/11 phase has opened the floodgates to a whole new paradigm shift in the perceptions of national and international security. With renewed interest of the world players in the subcontinent and not immune to global transformations, South Asia consequently stands at the threshold of critical challenges vis-a-vis its strategic environment, accepted wisdom and policy orientation. Islamic scholars from India and Bangladesh recently discussed the problems caused by terrorism and religious extremism by radical groups in South Asia at a conference titled Role of Civil Societies in Strengthening Bilateral Relations. Muhammad Abdur Rahim, Joint Secretary, Bangladesh Islami Front, said that terror organizations like ISIS, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Jamaat-e-Islami are behind creating uncertainty in the region. Such terror groups don't represent any religion or institution.
Sufism do not like terrorism, extremism, radicalism. Sufism working for the peace. We are wanted to establish harmony nationwide, worldwide. But terrorism, extremism, working for discord, like Jamaat Islam Bangladesh, like Jaish-e-Mohammed Pakistan, like IS, like Salafism, like IS, working for terrorism. They are left Islam, they are not real Islam. We believe real Islam, Ahl Sunnat, Wal Jamaat and Sufism. Bangladesh and India, actually spiritual connectivity is very strong, like Khaja Muinuddin Chishti and his many followers in Bangladesh, like Nijamuddin Aulia, his followers, available followers in Bangladesh, like Ashraf Jahangir Simnani, Ashrafia Darbar Sharif. There are a lot of followers in Bangladesh, like Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan, his lot of followers in Bangladesh working for peace and Sufism, protecting terrorism.
Member of Khusro Foundation, Dr. Hafizur Rahman, said that New Delhi and Dhaka should fight together against radicalization as both South Asian countries are deep believers of Sufism. The Indian scholars emphasized that both neighboring countries must stand together to confront these challenges, ensuring peace and security in the region. Moreover, they praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision for global unity and for the success of the G20 summit.
When they were fighting for the liberation of Bangladesh in 1971, if you go in detail, the Pakistan Army and Jamaat-e-Islami volunteers were killing them because they were not Urdu-speaking people. So they were killing Muslims, those were Bengali-speaking, they were killing non-Muslims, those were Bengali-speaking, and it happened because of Jamaat-e-Islami's radicalization.
The terror groups in South Asia have their base in Pakistan and neighboring Afghanistan. These groups not only carry out attacks in other South Asian countries, but they radicalize youth and other religious and political organizations towards extremism.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Thousands rallied in Budapest opposing the agenda of Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Demonstrators marched through the streets of the Hungarian capital after Orban's speech marking the anniversary of Hungary's failed 1956 uprising against Soviet rule, where he criticized the EU leaders, calling Brussels a bad contemporary parody that he said could still be fixed. Some protesters in Budapest voiced fears that Hungary might end up leaving the EU under his rule, a prospect Orban has repeatedly dismissed. Distrust of Orban has been running high in Brussels after bitter run-ins during his 13 years in power over the rights of gay people and migrants in Hungary, as well as tightening state controls over NGOs, academics, the courts and media. The EU has suspended the payment of billions of euros worth of funding to Hungary over rule of law concerns, complicating the nationalist leaders' efforts to drag the economy out of its longest technical recession since modern records started. Orban has also drawn criticism from the US and EU allies for shaking hands with Russian President Vladimir Putin during a summit in China last week, as the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to bilateral ties amid international tensions over the war in Ukraine. The Seoul Metropolitan Government conducted a crowd control drill ahead of the one-year anniversary of a deadly Halloween crush, showcasing an AI-backed program designed to detect and alert potential overcrowding. The early warning system will start from this October 31 on Halloween and will comprise of 909 CCTV cameras in 71 major locations that will analyze crowd movement and density and alert authorities for signs of danger. The trial run of the system was conducted at a busy and narrow alley of bars and restaurants in Seoul, where 150 volunteers crowded into a 30 square meter area that was monitored by staff in a control room. A complete lack of preparation, crowd control measures and initial calls for help that went unanswered were blamed for the disaster a year ago in the Itaewon nightlife district. At least 13 people were killed and several others injured after two trains collided in Bangladesh. A passenger train crashed into a freight train in Bahrab, about 80 kilometers northeast of the capital Dhaka. Local police chief Rasail Sheikh told media that at least 17 bodies have been recovered from the scene, rising the death toll from 13 initially reported. Authorities said the freight train smashed into the passenger train from behind, damaging 2 coaches.
And now we take you to immerse in the vibrant and joyful spirit of Navratri, a festival that celebrates the divine goddess and the triumph of good over evil. Navratri, which means 9 nights, is a festival dedicated to the goddess Durga and one of the most revered festivals in the Hindu religion. It is celebrated in the bright half of the Hindu calendar month Ashwin, which typically falls in the Gregorian months of September and October. Have a look.
Hindu devotees from all across India throng temples as the Hindu festival of Navratri, or the festivities of 9 nights, was recently celebrated across the country with religious fervour. Navratri, derived from the ancient Sanskrit words 9 nights, is being celebrated this year from October 15th to October 24th. A large number of devotees visited the holy shrine of Mata Vaishno Devi temple on the 9th day of Navratri. The sacred shrine is adorned with thousands of multi-hued flowers to welcome the pilgrims.
मैं बहुत दिनों से आना चाह रहा था। पिछली बार भी मैं 1 साल पहले भी नवदुर्गों में महोत्सव में आया था। यहाँ क्या है, हमारे यहाँ झांकी महोत्सव चलता है नवदुर्गों में, इसलिए माता के दरबार में हम वैष्णो देवी के धाम में नवदुर्गा महोत्सव में आए हैं और यहाँ बहुत अच्छी फूलों की सजावट होती है।
Navratri is a significant Hindu festival celebrated over 9 nights and 10 days. Moreover, as a part of these celebrations, Kanya Pujan is observed on the 8th or 9th day, depending on the regional customs. One of the most exciting aspects of Navratri is the Garba and Dandiya dance. People come together in colourful attire, moving to the rhythmic beats of traditional music, creating an enchanting and joyful atmosphere. This is the time for bonding, celebration, and creating unforgettable memories. In Thiruvananthapuram city, devotees visited Chentitta Devi temple to offer prayers and also seek blessings from goddess Durga. The grand 10-day-long festivities also celebrated in neighbouring Nepal in a grand manner. Serpentine queues were witnessed outside the famous Taleju Bhavani temple in Nepal as it opened its gates for devotees on the auspicious occasion of Mahanavami. Regarded as one of the Shakti Peeth in Hinduism, the temple is only opened for public on the 9th day of Daishin or Dashera festival. The day is also considered as the final day to make ritual sacrifices of livestock to goddess Durga and her various incarnations during the 10-day-long festival.
अब एक वर्षमा एकचोटि आउनु पर्ने मन्दिर धेरै राम्रो छ। सबै भक्तजनहरू आइरहनु भएको छ यहाँ। हामी चाहिँ 6:40 देखि लाइन बसेको थियौ। अहिले भर्खर यहाँ आइपुग्यौ। लगभग 1 घण्टा अराउन्ड भइसक्यो।
Navratri culminates on the 10th day, coinciding with the Dashera festival with the killing of demon king Ravana and Mahishasura, signifying the victory of good over evil. The burning of the effigies of the demon king Ravana signifies our collective commitment to vanquishing negativity and darkness from people's lives.
In India, people look forward to festivals all around the year. Festivals spark joy and fill our lives with colours and enthusiasm. With that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye and take care.